Yo, what is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of MLT Hangouts, where every week we choose a topic to dive into with our guests and just share our opinions. I am your host, Irvine.
I am your host, Ashton, and this week we are joined with Daniel. If you want to check out his interview, make sure and check the link in the description.
So this week we decided to talk about if post-secondary school is the best option after high school.
So Daniel, what was your post-secondary experience like?
It was interesting. Definitely something different, you know what I mean? Compared to high school, I felt like there was more freedom to post-secondary. I went to college, Seneca College. You guys obviously know, we met there and stuff.
Yeah.
But, it was definitely something new for me. It was a great experience. I recommended it.
So this was your first one, right?
Yeah, my very first one.
Yeah. So me and Ashton actually have a similar experience in where we had like 3 different schools that we went to, right? So for me, straight out of high school, I didn't really know what to do. So I went to George Brown for business solely because my parents, they were like, you have to go to post-secondary. Right? It has to happen.
Yeah.
So I did that, hated it, took a year off, best year of my life. And after that, went back to school for food and nutrition because I started getting into fitness on my year off. Wasn't really what I expected, and then I finally landed at Seneca College where I met you two goons. And for advertising, and it was actually like the best experience that I had. How about you?
For me, I got into photography before I went to post-secondary school. So I was working for a music label, and I had my own stuff on the side. So I figured if I'm doing photography now, I might as well go to school for photography to enhance my skills. But I realized it wasn't for me, so I dropped out of photography, and then I went into marketing after. And surprisingly, that wasn't for me either. I took a couple months off, figured out what I wanted to do, and then I got into advertising, where I met you guys, as we said before.
Yeah.
And it was a really good experience, honestly. I think it was more like the people that made the experience. Just being around other creatives and being around such positive energy kind of helped guide me where I want to go, because through there I was able to find out what my strengths are and what my weaknesses are, and working with other people.
Yeah, on that note, the people who made it, the people is what made it what the experience that it was, right? At this school, I came to the realization that everybody's creative, but you have to work that muscle every single day in order to really show your creativity, right? So when I meet somebody and they're not creative, I'm just like, yo, you are, but you're just not hanging around enough creatives, or you're not pushing yourself to do creative things every day. That's something that I learned from the program.
Yeah, honestly, for one thing, I feel I'm not blaming it on parents, but I feel like they put some pressure on you that just makes you feel you know what, the way that I want to go to your creative side is kind of suppressed. Yeah. They're just kind of making you focus on the future, this job is really beneficial for you, you know what I mean? Yeah. And they get that so embedded in your brain that you just kind of think like that, you know what I mean? And you let it get to you, maybe, photography won't take me as far as this job, maybe making music won't take me as far as this job, you know what I mean? Yeah. But that's where kind of going to post-secondary kind of helps you realize that, you know what I mean, this is not what I want to do, this is not what I want to do either. And if you do something that you don't enjoy, you're not going to bring it out to its full.
Exactly.
Just going back to the parents thing, it's I kind of see where they're coming from, because this whole making money off of creative work is relatively new. If you were to tell your parents that you're going to manage someone's social media account, their Instagram, they barely understand Instagram.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I feel like parents should understand that right now, we're in a time where you can make money off of literally anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
and
for sure.
You can be successful and be happy by doing literally anything. You can turn your hobby into a career and then do that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, for sure. People are traveling, going to a blog, putting it on a blog and getting paid off of that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's a whole generational shift too, right? Where it's they don't really understand it because they didn't have those opportunities as kids.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel that's actually a really good segue into our next thing. What did your parents specifically want you to do?
Oh man, the basic kind of top-notch jobs. They wanted me to be lawyer, real estate agent, doctor, you know, like lowest that they would accept for me was like accountant.
Yeah.
Like
That's
working at
hella
bank.
boring, bro.
Yo,
And you see, like, to some people, numbers are fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was
Yeah.
naturally good with numbers, but then again, like, I hated math so much. Like, I was good at it, but I just hated it, you know what I mean? And, like, through high school, I was realizing that, because it was all fixed courses, right? There wasn't, like, anything so extravagant that you could go out and do. Like, the most was photography, or, like, band kind of thing, music, you know what I mean? But then everybody was kind of like to that point where they're like, oh, you're doing photography, or you're doing band? And like, I guess that kind of brings to another point, like, people around you gotta surround yourself with the right people, you know what I mean? But in terms of that, like, my parents always wanted me to be like professional, like something professional. When I told them about social media, my mom was like, yeah, you know, like, that's good. Then when I brought my first check in, then it was like something different.
yeah,
You know what I
you
mean?
see the money and it's
Yeah.
like,
She realized, like, yo, this is something that he can make, like, something proper, and it's what I enjoy to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
like for me, even my dad still wants me to be a lawyer or an engineer or something. Like, it's super annoying.
My mom just wanted me to go to school. She's just like, go to school.
Man, had it easy.
Yeah,
You had it easy,
Yo.
bro.
She actually, like, when I
I'm
wanted
sick.
to get into photography and film, she like bought me a camera, bought me backdrop. She supported me through the whole way.
But then again, you know, that's like, we're seeing it from the negative side because we're like, yo, we had it hard. But then again, like, that's what parents, well, like, in
That's
my
what they
terms, that's
should
what
do.
they should do.
That's what
Yeah.
they should
Being
do.
supportive of, like, your kids is so
man.
crucial, bro.
No matter what they want to do.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I think, like, with your parents, how they wanted you to go in a certain field, it's like they know you will be secure if you become a doctor or like a lawyer and stuff.
Yeah, like, I'm
Working
not
in
saying
the
it's
creative
bad
field
either.
is like, it's fickle. You're not sure if you can make money or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
No, go.
Yeah, sure. It's funny because my mom is always pushing me to be like an entrepreneur or like, yo, you have to own your own business, you have to be the boss, right? But when I'm like, yo, this is kind of what I'm doing with the creative side. I'm a business, right? And like I'm shopping out my like services. That's making me a entrepreneur, kind of, right? And then she still doesn't get that. Entrepreneurship is me opening up a store that sells bagels or some shit. You know what I mean? So you going to post-secondary right after high school, what is the most important thing that you learn?
Networking. Definitely made, like, being, overall, just be friendly to people, you know what I mean? You never know what they can benefit you with. Everybody serves a purpose in everyone's life. That's what I think. I feel like I met you guys for a reason, and look, like, you guys are doing big things, I'm doing big things, working together always, like, it always brings you a step higher, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Meeting new people gives you that new step to kind of go forward.
Yeah, definitely. For me, I guess going to many different schools, it was definitely an eye-opener to see something that I was passionate about, how much work I actually put into something, right? Like, it really showed me that if I'm not in it 100%, bro, I'm not gonna put 100% in it. Like, I'd have assignments due the next day when I'm in food and nutrition, and I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping
pretty big, yeah,
10
that was
hours.
basic, yeah.
I'm not going to class. Like, it makes no sense for me to kill myself over this, right? So, but on the other hand, like, I'd have an assignment for our advertising stuff, right? And I'm not sleeping for a week straight just to get it done and to have it perfect, right?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yo, like, honestly, we did not sleep for like
Nah.
2 weeks. Like,
Not at all.
It's crazy, but that really shows the passion that you have for something, right? Like, I guess that's the most important thing that I got from school.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it was more like try everything, because you don't know that you don't like something until you try it, right? You think you don't like it, but then you actually get into it and it's like you're good at it and it's like a fulfilling task.
Honestly, I feel like you could do that without school though.
No, but I'm saying like going to school helped me understand that, because for like stuff in advertising, I didn't know that I would like strategy. Like, I
Okay.
started to like strategy.
Yeah, so different aspects of like what your program entails, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot harder for me to experience strategy and marketing without going to school. Like,
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
do
yeah.
it by yourself, you can create your own things, but that's something that I learned from school.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a bunch of positive things about school, but there's a lot of negative things that come as well. What's the worst thing about school for you?
Oh, man. It'd have to be between, like, time management and work, like the school work, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, honestly, like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's me being biased, but I feel like other people that go to programs do not suffer as much as we did.
No, remember we had people who came from university.
Yeah.
Aaron was a doctor and said that the college program was harder than becoming a doctor.
Cause like our workload was all like we were given such short like deadlines and so much work to accomplish within that we had to like kind of use each other. You see what I mean? Like we had to kind of pick off other people to kind of finish our work in a way. Like we would always hit each other up, like all of us. Yo, did you do this? Like how'd you do this and things like that? You know what I mean? And I mean like in terms of that, I feel as bad as it was, it helped me benefit because that made me realize, yo, you can't be doing things alone sometimes. You know what I mean? You have to drop your pride and, you know, ask somebody for help.
Yeah.
Although it might make you look bad, but who cares? But definitely workload was terrible.
Oh, 8 classes, everything due at the same time.
Bro, I had 10.
Oh yeah.
Because I wanted to graduate on time. I left everything last minute, so I mean that's for me to blame, and that's where I kind of go into time management. I was terrible with time management. I didn't even have a job like during school too, so I can't imagine people who had a job and everything.
The job, 9 classes, fucking, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Definitely what I learned the most was pulling up my pants and saying, okay, this is what needs to be done. I can't sleep to get this done, and this is the due date. This is what's gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
Discipline, that's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like if you don't have discipline, especially in being an entrepreneur, nobody's gonna tell you to get up and grind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So going to school, having that program taught me the discipline. So now every morning when I get up, I'm working on MLT. Every single day. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me, the worst thing was, again, I'm gonna agree with Daniel, like the workload was hectic, but at the same time, like I learned how to manage multiple projects at the same time, and that's kind of helping me now with work because I have like 4 different clients and like I'm working on social media for like all of them. So I'm like jumping between like different clients, and like at school we would have like marketing, we would have a strategy course, we would have direct mail, we would have a creative course, and like you have to be able to like juggle all of those things and like work on different aspects of them at the same time.
Wear different hats like at all times.
Yeah.
Definitely to be good at everything is a plus, right? We mentioned it in the last episode where you have to be a chameleon. Yeah. Like you have to know everything, and definitely, at least for what we went for, school was good for that.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least for, like, I can't speak for everything, right? Some programs are fucking trash. Like the business one that I went to, bro, I felt like a zombie, man. I had to wake up at 6 a.m, go with my parents. Then I got to class and I was just sitting there like, shit. Yeah. When is this day gonna end?
Yeah, basically, and like I feel you 100% on that. I remember because I started off in marketing and then I switched over into this program, right? And marketing was just so fixed. You know what I mean? It was like it has to follow this order. You have to do this, this, and that in order to get this.
It's just formulas.
Exactly, right? And I mean, some people, you know, it benefits them because like that's what they like. You know, some people like prefer to just follow something and then go through it. Rather, our program, like it was open-minded. You can go this route and then see this outcome, or you can go whatever route you want and see that outcome.
I think that's like the best thing about creative work, because it's like there's no one right answer. It's like you can find your own answer and you'll get different results, but it's not wrong.
It's like a surprise in each kind of thing, you feel me? So like when you get to this point, you're like, oh, yo, that's crazy, but then let me work on it more and see where I can get. And then when you get to another point, you're like, yo, this is insane. And so you just keep impressing yourself, right? And like that just shows you how much you've grown as well. Rather than a fixed thing, you're just like, all right, I already knew this was gonna lead to this part, like whether it's bad or not. But then creative, it's like, yo, I can really keep going forward. And it's just like a self-motivation thing. And I don't know, that's what I love about it.
But again, we're speaking on our own personal program. I actually never been to a program that's like this. Like you said, everything else is just fixed, but who knows, there could be other programs that are just like ours and we don't know, right? So on that note, what do you think about being forced to be in school if you don't know what you're doing? Do you think that that's like something that should be happening? Should parents force you to go to high school after, or go to post-secondary after high school?
I think that's a terrible decision, because now like people go to post-secondary school and then the rest of your life happens right after, right? So if you're going to be like a doctor or a lawyer just because your parents want you to, now you're stuck in a field where your parents don't make decisions for you and you're doing it for your parents. And then like there's gonna come a point in time where your parents are gonna pass and you're still gonna be in that field. Yeah. And now like, who are you doing this for? You're not happy. You're 40 with 2 kids, a wife you don't like, and a dog that shits in your house.
That sounds pretty fucking miserable, bro. Man said a wife you don't like.
I mean, at the same time, though, I feel like some people need to push because they just won't go to school, and then that's it. They're not in school. They're not doing anything.
That's true.
So, like, sometimes when parents push you to go to school, it's like you understand the importance of school, but then you can drop out and figure out like a different course for you to take.
But yeah, even when you said that, like, it's a lot of money to go to school and do that fuck up. Right? So I don't think parents should be forcing you to go to school if you really don't know. I think kids should really sit down and have that conversation with their parents, and that's where your relationship with your kid as a parent comes in. If I'm scared of you, I'm obviously not gonna have that conversation with you, but like, it's important to sit them down and be like, listen, I don't know what I want to do. I'm gonna be in OSAP debt for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna take that year off. What about you? Do you think that you missed out going on that year off, going to school right after high school?
No, you see, like, then again, I disagree, and then I agree also with the point of like money wise, right? Yeah. I feel like if you go to school right after and you're kind of like don't even know what you want yet, but you're just in a program just to be in it, you're not really wasting your time, right? Because you're actually getting something out of it. But then again, it all depends on someone's self-discipline. Yeah. Whether are you gonna finish it or not, and how much time it takes, right? Like for me, I was gonna get into marketing, and I was actually gonna go through with it like the whole way. But once I was told about creative advertising, I was like, yo, this is actually what I want to do. And so I feel like if I took that year off, I wouldn't have met the people I met. I wouldn't have like done the things I've done. And so, you know what I mean? I feel like everything happens for a reason, but then again, it's like, it's kind of like a loop to it. Like if you don't go to it, you have that time, that year off to enjoy yourself a little bit and whatnot, and figure out what you want to like do. But then again, most people take that year off.
Don't do shit.
Yeah. They don't go for it, you know what I mean? They just take that year off, and then when it comes down to actually picking a course, it's like, damn, I didn't even pay attention to what I want to do. I didn't even do research.
Yeah.
And so
100%.
I feel like when you get right into it, you're more motivated to find something what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because
Sorry, no, go on.
Because I mean, like, when you're in something you don't enjoy doing, you go out of your way to find other things. You know what I mean? Rather than when you're out there enjoying yourself and you're doing stuff, your mind's like distracted.
Why would I wanna go back?
Exactly. So it's like you're forcing yourself in a way to finding something that you want to do.
Yeah. I think when you take the year off and like you work and you start to travel and you have a lot of free time, it's like you're enjoying life right now, so why would you go back to school?
Exactly.
Like I think right out of high school, it's like you understand that this is a necessary step and just get it out the way. But at the same time, it's like you are going to be wasting money because you're still learning about yourself. Like picking the career for the rest of your life at 18 is wild.
Exactly.
Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do at 18.
Literally close my eyes, put my finger on the screen, and boom, marketing. I was like, I guess this is what I'm doing, bro. Yeah, bro. Imagine a doctor, I wouldn't even be here right now.
Yeah.
Taking that year off for me after going to school for that year for business was like best year of my life. I started working, making money, like going to concerts I've never been to, going to places I've never been, experiencing new things. I think that helps really mold who you are, like the type of person that you become.
Yeah.
But on the whole note of everything happens for a reason, I agree with that, because if I didn't take that year off, if I didn't go to the other 2 programs, I wouldn't go into advertising the time that I did, and I wouldn't met you guys, right?
Yeah,
so everything, I feel like the universe has a plan for you, and no matter what route you go into, like, you always end up in the best possible situation, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Some people it takes longer than others, but that's where faith kicks in, you know what I mean? Don't want to get all religious, but like, it's scary. It's scary to see when things start falling into place and you start looking back at like yo, if I didn't do this, then this wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't have landed here. It's like, but who makes that all happen, right? So
That is a topic for another day. I think we could, yeah. So with all that being said, do you think you have to go to school to be successful?
No, I don't think that at all. I mean, I feel like it helps you shape your mind into seeing what you want to do, but I feel like it all depends on the person, right? If you have a creative mind and you just don't put it to its work, bro, you're not gonna get success. You're not gonna become successful. We're in a time of age where you're like anything prospers, as you said, right? And like, if you start doubting yourself, that moment you doubt yourself is when it all falls apart. Following your dreams is 100% the way to go. You know what I mean? Like, put in that work so you don't have to put it in like later on.
And honestly, I feel like if you don't go to school and you try a bunch of things, right, and you fail at all of them, that's good too. Because like now you could say, yo, I tried. Like, yo, I really wanted, if I have a fear of being old and being like, yo, I should have fucking threw those parties, because what if it popped off?
Yeah, for sure.
But now if I did it, I tried it and it sucked and it failed, and I tried my 100% in it, and when I'm older I could be like, yo, I remember when I tried doing that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I think that is a bigger fear than taking that jump to have that conversation with your parents, saying that you don't want to go to school, and you know, and just becoming a zombie in the system. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
For me, I think for most people, school would be necessary.
Yeah.
Because it kind of gives you guidance, it shows you structure, and it opens like a world, an entire new world for you, right? Because you're entering these courses and you're meeting with people that you wouldn't meet if you didn't go to school.
True.
So for me, I need to be pushed. I don't think if I didn't go to school, this wouldn't have happened. Like, I wouldn't be an entrepreneur and have my own like creative business. So for me, I would say school is pretty necessary.
You know what? Yeah. Now that you mentioned kind of all that things, like, then again, I still go with my point that you don't need it. But then again, it all depends on your self-discipline. Yeah. Whether if you don't have like the right mindset to push yourself, to be able to push yourself, and you keep saying, yo, tomorrow, 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 you're just not gonna get anything accomplished.
And it's fucked, because how do you know at 18 if you have that discipline?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the
But that's what I mean. Like, I agree with him too. You know, you get into school, it's like you are being pushed to find out what you want. Because if not, you're gonna be miserable in school, like failing classes. You're gonna be failing this, and then next thing you know, you're just like, again, in the middle of nowhere.
You're 40 with 2 kids and a wife you don't like.
There you go. You're 40 with kids and a wife you don't like. That ain't the life you want. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, no, definitely school helps you shape your mind for one thing.